Stalker's blunking through, protecting against the Vikings. The MP is yet to come down here, really. They're going to hit the Immortals and the Colossi and a few of the Stalkers as well, as Clem's going to commit to this fight. Stimming forward to target down the Colossi, but now they get super batteried. I just don't think this is really the position for Clem. He is going to get pushed back from here, and that will be that. But this Widowmine still active. 6 more probes as Hero pushes Clem away.
I mean, Clem has to be really careful now because that 2-2 has come online for his opponent. Those Colossus, they're all a little bit wounded, but he's marching across the map, and there isn't quite enough Vikings to take them out. There is now, possibly, and these Stalkers, they're going to be the lifeline for Hero. Hero can't get carried away. Hero's kind of putting himself into an all-in position here. Like, he's been getting harassed all game long, and I don't know how many probes he's lost at this point. If we're going to have a little look while this fight is going, 28 probes. And he's killed 8 SCVs. That is not what you want as a Protoss. So here, he's not been making probes for a while. He's making disruptors, and that Colossus, very close to falling. That Raven, what an MVP.
Yeah, both these Colossi are going to go down, man. No super batteries to keep them alive this time, and it just means there's no splash damage in this army, so as we blink forward, this is going to be it from Hero. We've mentioned he's kind of all in. He never started up 3-3 upgrades, and this is just not going to be enough at all. The harassment from Clem was just good enough to force him in this position, and these Immortals are scary. Like, he's still pushing through, but Clem is absolutely going to have enough to turn this around. He will pull the boys for a few moments, but he's going to clean up pretty much everything, and he's got to feel good about it.
Yeah, these are victory lads right here, charging down those Immortals, taking them all out. And Hero, half the supply at this point. It's all well and good being ahead in upgrades for a moment in time, but now Clem's caught up. He's going to be taking a significant lead, and Hero knows it. Taps out.
His Adept still causing issues, and SCVs have to pull. Both Marines go down. We've got 2 Neurons replacing them, but here comes the Oracle. The Cyclone cannot come soon enough right now, as the SCVs are having to surround. Here comes the Cyclone for the lock-on. Oracle has to start running, but that Cyclone is going to be very close, and I think that Oracle is just dead. Hero realizes it, so he just kills as much as he can. 5 SCVs, a fairly fresh mule.
Hero completely supply block, by the way. He's got 800 minerals, can't even use it. Now he starts making a pylon, but maybe that's too little too late. He can only reinforce when his units die. That is not what you want.
SCV's going down, but if Clem survives, his army's just going to be so powerful, and Hero does not feel like he's getting the momentum that he needs with his attack so far. There's Widowmines that still haven't even gone off, by the way, and Clem is going to hold. 9 SCVs lost, still 1 worker ahead, triple mule working, and Clem's just getting more and more. From here on out, Hero doesn't feel like he's going to hit that critical mass of charge slots to really overwhelm. He drops a 4th base back to pro production. He knows this isn't going well enough for him, and Clem has survived a very dangerous stage of this game.
But against Stargate, absolutely the perfect call, and he's going in with them now, and oh, that Cyclone needs to react fast. The first shot was not on the Cyclone. Second shots are on the Cyclone. Take it out immediately. We can't see Clem's face right now, but I bet it's not happy.
Keep aggressive, keep on the front. And we do see Clem at least going to try and make his way up to Stimpack. Here come the triple Oracles, the double Cyclone now. Going to get a lock on, but he didn't move them away. So once more, the Cyclone's in trouble. And oh, he's just going to get one. The other one just missed. Oh, he gets it. Wow, the Marine popping out from the main. And only 1 Oracle left again. I mean, you're losing Cyclones, but they're not as important against the Stalker defense as everything else. It's honestly, it's just so fun because it's like, it's just been mayhem from Hero from the very start, right? Every stage of this game was, I'm just going to be crazy, wild, I'm going to attack you. This was aggressive Hero. This was Hero in his absolute element, playing his best kind of game. As the 3rd CC falls, Clem says, this will not turn around. He'll give up a map. And he sees the recall on the probes as well, so Clem knows this probe's going somewhere. And he was controlling the SCV, so he should know that. He cancels the bunker, though, so he's maybe still not expecting this amount of adept pressure, because now he thinks there's a base somewhere.
Oh, that bunker salvage, I am very much questioning that. He knew that there was a few adepts on the map, and with Hero, like the game before, that should have been a bit of a warning sign. This guy can make more units than you think he should.
Again, Hero just finding every corner an opportunity to just be as annoying as possible. And once again, Clem's just not being able to keep up with all of this. This is going to be too much. Clem's going to tap out, and Hero's going to tie us up. First series of the day is going to go to all 5 maps.
It's kind of nice, this ramp position, though. It's far away, so you can't just go from one side to the other as quickly as you would like. But here, he's just utilizing that energy cooldown from the shields. It's free damage here. Every time you get to take a fight, you should take a fight if you want to do it properly. And he's getting more and more Stalkers here.
Since then of being Hero, just getting control, doing different things, and making Clem's life difficult. We are going to see a commitment here from Hero. He's blinking into the natural stills, so he's going to blink on top of the tank. The Zealot's coming through a choke point. At least the Stalker's doing what they can. SCVs having a tank for Clem is not pretty for him, man. He's 20 workers down at the moment, and this Bioforce keeps on coming through. Hero has been such a difficult player to play against, and Clem has just not been able to get the better of him. These gateway units will continue to do what they can as they try to bust through this army. It's gonna be enough. Hero comes back from 0-2, 3 in a row, chaos every game. and Clem just felt as though he couldn't make the right decision twice in a row in these last 3 maps.
He plays very unoptimal styles of play in all the matchups pretty much. So I feel like as long as I just play the correct way to play into him, very often he's just gonna suicide into me.
We are not going to see a single more drone in the production tab. Dark is going to be going all in. He is massing Zerglings. These ones still here causing a bit of a ruckus. As the Queen comes out, that's going to help Elazer a lot, but he's already lost a lot of mining time.
Yep, so far that Queen taking a lot of damage as well. Few drones did go down by the looks of it. So far, Grantorov only a single drone, a nice micro on the Queen. But right now there's only one thing that truly matters in this game, and that is what Elazer sees on the other side of the map. Losing this Overlord would be bad because he's already supply blocked.
His Overlords are so far back. He's got this one poking in these Zerglings. But I mean, okay, there we go. He sees some Zerglings and some Queens, but that alone is not enough information.
He's gonna lose that one too.
Oh, this is so bad for Elazer. You can see the frown on his face. He realizes losing this Overlord is terrible. Little does he know that there is an absolute swarm of Zerglings, and this is going to be an easy victory for Dark, starting off the series with a beautiful momentum.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and the GG will be called. Dark takes the 1-0 lead. Coach Warren, he will have the Queens, but the Queens obviously will have some surface area. The first few Banelings are about to reveal themselves already. And Elazer is only now really going to realize that this is happening. The Queens can buy sometime good connection. A lot of 2 Banes or 3 Banes going down though, but that's most of the links, if not all of the Zerglings of Elazer. I gotta say though, these Queens doing a very decent job. If only there was a little bit of energy for Transfuse. But they've bought a decent amount of time. Is it enough time, Pig?
Oh, losing that 3rd Queen is going to be a bummer, but the Zergling count is diminished. The Flood though, the reinforce coming in. Drone's going to need to spread. Goods pulled by Elazer. He's got to spread them apart. Those Banelings looking for the money hits.
Yeah, not quite finding it. I really like this defense so far coming out of our Polish Zerg. He still has a 7 worker lead. He will not have link speed, but if he can just start working on that wall up, you don't want to lose the final Queen though, because that would be really bad. Losing 2 Queens, that was acceptable. Losing 3 hurts a little. Losing all 4, that's where it's really going to sting, because you mentioned it. He's going to have such a hard time walling off.
Yeah, he's going to go back to droning as well, maybe a little bit too early. Elazer, though, he's up 7 workers and he's building more drones in the midst of this. The greed knows no bounds, but that might be what gets him ahead in this game.
Well, I don't know about that, because there's still a couple of Banelings morphing in his main. Another Queen does fall. That's confused connected there for Dark. And the worker count has pretty much evened up, and there's still plenty of speed links running around. Dark is droning up now, so I don't think this game is going to end, but Elazer has just taken a little too much damage. I think you're right. I think he was a little too early thinking it was over, because Dark, he wasn't done yet. Bases, you've got 2. You really need to get something done here. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't build too many drones and I've got enough battle units. You don't want to lose the Ravages though before the party really starts, as the Lings are going to try to get the wraparound. A couple of Roaches do get surrounded, but the Queens are here. They can drop a few of those transfusions.
Big Biles landing on the Roaches, though. The Lings come in from behind. Of course, there's no reinforce. Elazer had to keep those units at home to defend the Ling run by, and Dark with a swift series of aggressive builds.
He is just going to look for a trade. I always think that if you get 2 drones here, that's like somewhat acceptable. If you get 3, you're already happy. And if you get 4, then as a 12-pool player, you feel like you're flying at that point.
Ooh, he's already got 2. Roddy, this is looking really good. 3 drones. Queen's not. Oh, one Zergling gets surrounded as well. Oh, this is massive. This is a lot of damage. Drones in the red. 4 workers have gone down, and he's not done yet.
5 drones going down. That's something that normally happens when you lose all the links. He hasn't lost all the links. The link micros absolutely spectacular there by Dark, as he wins that skirmish too. He ain't done yet. The Queen is finally out, and the Queen is going to push those links away, but 5 drones and obviously a lot of lost mining time. And at this point, Elazer is definitely shaking in his boots. Wouldn't even hate a safety spine. The problem is, like, where are you going to put it, right? Is it in the 3rd? Is it in the natural? Maybe somewhere in between. Dark is going to get a little surround on this hatch. Elazer wants to buy time,
get out!
He can't stick around too much longer, because Banelings will start finishing up. Queen participating in the fight is cute, and maybe Elazer will just accept that hatchery is always going to fall. Just make sure you don't lose too many drones in your own natural, but how are you going to do it? The Banelings are pushing the Lings away. 1 Queen does fall. Dark gets a very easy snipe on the hatch, but he still wants more.
Oh, great Baneling hits here for Dark. And he's just flooding on in. The Roach Warren's finished, but it's too late. The Banelings finding their way into the worker line. Dark has absolutely absolutely no chill and no respect for the opposition in this tournament. Every single round it has been non-stop aggression. He does not want to let these players get in their comfort zone. Really met that much stiff resistance in this tournament yet, because this has been a lot of his series up to this point. Dark has just been finding his opponent's weak points, clearly studying how they're playing and preparing so well for these series.
Yep, there are a decent amount of roaches here. The Lynx had a little bit of issue getting on top of them first, but Dark just still has so much, and I don't think that Elazer is going to be able to stop this anymore. All of the Ravagers are still healthy. This could very well be Dark's attack into the semi-finals, but he's going to duke it out with Hero. I also think that's a bit of a shame, because I don't think Neeb was necessarily aware of the fact yet that Creator had a Dark Shrine too. And that's, I think, kind of a clumsy way to reveal the fact that you've got Dark Templars out. Here we can really see the power of these Novas. First one connects, does a lot of damage to the Immortal. Both Immortals are a bit exposed. The first one goes down, the second one goes down as well. And Neeb is honestly putting on a clinic here. What a beautiful game so far by Alex. Needs to be a little bit careful, because the Zealots do have charge, and they're coming in from the left side. The Oracles seem to be forgotten about. I still don't think this is bad for Neeb, because he killed a lot of sentries and Immortals, but maybe overstayed his welcome there ever so slightly. Very casually, then it's going to obviously in the end not really matter, and it really comes down to 1 or 2 Novas. Neeb fires that one very early, almost like a zoning Nova. Creator did pick up one of the Disruptors there that was trailing behind, but Neeb is now fully on top of that Nexus, and is Creator gonna blink on top of the Disruptors? He was thinking of it, but Neeb was clearly very wary of that too. Good Stalker movement so far. Neeb needs to be careful. Does he have high ground vision? Yes, he does. In the end, he blinks forward, picks off all those Disruptors, and gets out of there. Still a really good set of trades for Neeb, but can he get out of here, Robbie?
That's going to be a big problem. There's no Disruptors really around here for Creator, but he is getting a nice surround on all of this army. Disruptor in the bottom right going to be picked off by some of those Zealots, and Creator is not letting the Stalker army go. He's climbing up in supply above Neeb, and Neeb tries to blink out of there with what few remaining units he has, but he has fallen so dramatically in supply. Now we, of course, do end up seeing nearly double the army supply there for Neeb. He just needs to avoid the big Novas, manages to snipe off a Disruptor at the last second, picks off some additional Disruptors of his opponent. Battery overcharge, not going to be enough to save the day against this kind of fire damage output here for Neeb. Really, really tense PvP, and man, it just makes me look forward to the rest of the series, Roddy.
This was an absolutely amazing opening match. Creator displaying a lot of fighting spirit here, but the writing is on the wall. He knows it. Sure, he's got the upgrade advantage, but that doesn't matter if you're down economically and down 70 army supply. And Neeb displayed so much confidence, right? It's like he's never left the stage.
He is actually able to find a way up to the high ground. All the Zealots on the backside of this army, but he's maneuvering his way down toward that Nexus, already finding a little bit of damage, gonna be able to take out the shield battery, but we see that only half of the army of Creator is actually fighting versus Neeb right now.
Yeah, and half the army is definitely not good enough. Even with that Bar Prism there, I do think Creator needs to bring a couple of units over towards the top, but he's lost quite a few units already. That Archon is kind of derping in the back, and Creator is finding a lot of success. Neeb fired up +2 during all of that, and Creator finds the opening and ties things up. There isn't really a whole lot that Neeb can do, so Neeb is definitely not going to do that, as he now shows us that he will drop a Twilight Council, he will drop a Forge, and just take it from here, try to stabilize. Needs to be careful, barrier already activated, you don't want to lose that Immortal. Neeb, there is a shield battery. No. Battery overcharge has been activated, but it's not good enough to save that Immortal, and that means that these Stalkers are in high enough numbers to one-shot the Stalkers of Neeb, because Neeb can't really micro, as he does live one unit, but that was a pretty decent trade by Creator in the end.
Creator in a world of trouble right now. Neeb getting closer and closer to that Nexus almost accidentally right now, and the Phoenix gets so close to seeing it, and he does find it. That's the final building there of Creator. If Neeb just right-clicks on it, he should be able to force a fight, but he doesn't necessarily know if there's anything else on the map right now, so he's going to try and play it safe. Here we go. Creator is going to go for broke over here. The Charge Loss trying to find some damage with those Archons, doing so much damage to those Zealots. Creator dropping in supply a lot faster, and Neeb goes up in the series once again 2-1. Creator is going to have the tools he needs to not only defend this, but he just needs to make sure the micro is on point. Blink forward to snipe off the shield battery, and we end up seeing a couple of these Stalkers lifted on up. Does Neeb actually have enough to overpower over here, or is he going to regret committing this deep in? A massive massive stasis trap is going to be a big victory there for Neeb, but does he have enough army alive to take advantage of it?
Neeb seems to be somewhat busy chasing these Phoenixes. Does find them, but now his own army is kind of stuck. Does Neeb have a Rico? I don't know if he's going to use it, but he probably needs to use it because he has already blinked before. That means he can't blink past the Zealots, and even if he does, he would blink into the meat grinder that is that immortal. This is not a good fight for Neeb. This is not a place where Neeb wants to be, and I gotta say he's making the best of it, but that's not going to be good enough. This map is short. Here's a warp prism as well. Creator's gonna warp in even more units. I think for the second time today, we are heading into a game 5, Robbie.
Creator is absolutely killing it, attacking on so many different fronts, making it difficult for Neeb with a pure stalker army to really contend with the micro and be able to make the most of these units to try and kite against these zealots. You can see over here that Creator is feeling good. He does the fist pump forward as he heads on to game 5, keeping his tournament hopes and dreams alive.
Or maybe these Phoenixes can just dive into a middle line one more time and lift a bunch of workers. This is really tense. This is like as close as I think it could possibly get.
Absolutely, and it's close in a really fun way where both these players do have different units available. Nice feedbacks on the Phoenix. It looks like that's actually why not all those High Templars are turning straight away into Archons.
Where are they? Okay, they were left behind. We have a Disruptor there too. Battery overcharge. That Disruptor will live. The Nova goes off. And Neeb is finding some really big W's here in game 5.
Yeah, before +2 weapons even finishes up, and now that finishing up is going to make these Colossus absolute death machines.
Neeb has plenty of Archons himself, and that's very useful to protect his Colossus. This is a terrifying army, and Creator is not quite ready to fight this. He is setting up the surround though, and that is his best chance, and literally his only chance.
We see Disruptors hitting some of these Archons as Neeb continues to whittle away at this base. A Disruptor shot comes out, tags one of the Immortals. We see the big flank coming in here from Creator. Is it going to be enough? Neeb lifting up the Disruptors of Creator, taking out the Warp Prism with units still inside of it. The Archons duking it out against each other while the Colossus rain damage from above, but Creator is overwhelming Neeb.
Oh, final Archon shot gets two Disruptors. I mean, Neeb did not reinforce there at all. Neeb had over 3,000 resources in the bank, very close to 4K, did kill a decent amount of units, did obviously kill the Nexus too, but it's actually going to be a little bit hard to survive. Neeb, we need to spend our money. He's got 10 gateways, but he's not warping anything in. I don't get it.
Disruptors all going to be firing their shots all at once for the most part. He snags an Archon, that's a great find, but needs to be able to hold on a little bit longer. He needs a few more seconds for that Disruptor shot to come off of cooldown yet again. Disruptor is getting picked up. Nice micro there from Neeb, but another Disruptor about to go off. Hits most of Neeb's army, and Neeb plummets in supply. Creator aggressively blinks forward. He is ready to move on to the semifinals. He's so close to closing this game out.
Yeah, a couple of Zealots have been warped in. There is a battery overcharge. That battery overcharge could come into play, but it's too late. Creator still wins game 5 and advances into the semifinals. And you can see him popping up on stage because he was in so much trouble. Beautiful surround, beautiful engagements there towards the end. That was his only chance because he was in all the trouble. He had the inferior army. He was losing the battle. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine how good that feels. You are so close to getting eliminated from the tournament. Instead, you turn it around in game 5. That's just sick, Robbie.
Maru's a god at not moving out and doing the right thing while sitting on his ass.
공격 한 번도 안 나갈 생각이라서 그냥 후반 단단히 준비하고 왔습니다.
I'm going to see the first drop going into the main base directly. 2 queens immediately positioned. It's going to be drilling claws on the follow-up.
Yeah, this is exactly what he did in the GSL. So the Widow Mine's already going to be, cloaked. There's going to have to be Spore Crawlers coming down, but then also having that Drilling Claws eventually. But it's going to be test after test after test. So many harassing units going to be thrown Raynor's way. So far, so good on the defense. Blocks that with the Evolution Chambers. Blocks the natural with the Queen as well. Only 2 drones go down, and that medevac just fell. So there's a lot less harassment options now. A lot of potential in that army supply. Well, okay, not after that. But they'll fill it with better units anyway, so it doesn't matter. In this matchup, here we go for round number 3 or 4, whatever it is. Maru does have a decent supply. A lot of Ghost Liberators coming in as well, and a couple of tanks still in play, although they do get Blinding Clouded. The 3rd one's in play, but that is so many Banelings. The Planetary also could be a target, but he wants the Ghost. He goes back into the Mech Circus on the left side, and that was actually a bit roly-poly-oly every which way. This engagement does not look good for Raynor, I'll tell you that much.
No, just can't quite reproduce enough, but those are some brilliant abducts. 2 claws to go down straight away, 1 saved by the medevacs at least. We fungal the Hellbat, stop the retreat. Another great fungal. These full engine infestors are doing a lot. And here come the Lings. Not a lot of Hellbats in the back, so the Lings do reasonably okay. The Thors are trying to take down the Broodlords, and I believe they're succeeding on the top side. The Broodlords are melting with snipes going down all over them, and the Broods are starting to have to back it up as Maru this time is winning this fight, and he's going to go Zerg hunting because there's only this group of infestors and Broods left, and Raynor just will not be able to hold off this army.
Yeah, that again was kind of a multi-layered fight. The Lings coming from behind to stop all of those fives look like it might just be a killer, but I think the power of Hellbat Thor is still kind of shining through right now. We know that mech isn't necessarily popular as far as an entire TVZ goes, but this late game composition is so intimidating. Ghost even got those snipes, and Raynor is now in a terrible position. This is what was so scary about Maru remaxing, or not remaxing, but rebuilding as fast as he did. His composition could just be better, and it was that fight. Raynor, I think, yeah, knows it as well. GG. Raynor taps out after 40.
I like it, honestly, for Maru. Like, I know it wasn't ideal and maybe didn't get the damage he's looking for, but it could be much worse as well. You could have lost every Hellion in the process of this. Is right now we get rid of some Brute Humans, we'll split these Hellions, and that actually does okay at soaking up some Banes.
Yep. Yep, Terran's gonna be pretty happy with that.
So, I mean, Maru's really committed to this position here.
Yeah, you know, I was expecting that tank in the Nook there, but the one on the high ground as well, yeah, just way too much. And Raynor realized that was going to be too much to handle, so he does his trademark little harassment here. Overload on the main base, gonna drop out some Lings. The natural kind of a no-go with the Marines tucked into the choke, but the third base is also open. Meanwhile, Maru went a little too far on a creep, and the Banelings got their speed at the exact right time to defend against this. And the Marines are, a lot of them, taken down anyways. More Banelings will come forward and help clean that out. It has been a bit of a trade, right? Raynor lost drones, he lost that hatchery. He had to spend all those Banelings to actually clean that up, but they were very, very good Banelings. But Maru also lost 13 SCVs. I think it has been pushed back.
And Maru's army supply is decent, but he just can't keep losing economy and expecting to rebuild this army. And Raynor can rebuild this army again and again. So let's see what Maru does this time. As once again, those ghosts are going to be on retreat. It feels like they've done nothing else for a little while. The Ultras are cleaning up the front lines as well. And now those Banes will force the ghosts to split. They're going to start getting a couple of kills, actually. So those Banes are delivering. And Maru's supply looks irrecoverable in this position.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So much of it in medevacs as well. So really, really not true. You know, in the last game, we saw those ghosts barely survive. Oh, the burrow Banelings. Oh, okay, we'll pay attention to that. Oh, they're just going to burrow anyways. I mean, you're going to go for the kill. Like, anyway that Raynor wants, he will be able to end this game, and he's just going to shove Ling Ultra down Maru's natural, and that will cut the tap out. Raynor fights back.
And so, something to be careful of as Maru continues to sit defensively. Raynor will send another wave forward, teching up into all sorts behind this, further upgrades and all of that. But for now, he's actually going to run up here. The Stormers even come over the ramp as well. They want to really get involved. They want to see how their Locusts do. Unfortunately, not very excitingly, they just kind of die.
It's like a child watching, or a mom watch their child on the first day of school. Child just like trips in front of the whole class. Like, oh no, not my child, go away. No. He's trying to do something on the front lines once again, and we are missing Hellbats this time around, so the teleport has to happen not just to save the battlecruisers, which they do not, as the Corrosive Bile gets 2 of them, but also to help out back on the defense. Maru finally showing some weakness.
Even, I'm genuinely surprised by how even resources lost has turned out to be.
I mean, 22 Corruptors have died in this game.
I guess that's where it is, the battlecruise attacks, right?
I guess so. The battlecruisers are once again helping out here. The Corruptors aren't even going after them, actually. Raynor may be controlling something else at that time, maybe focused on the Locusts. The battlecruisers do get into play, take down a couple of Corruptors, but another one bites the dust. They're down to just 2 battlecruisers, not nearly the offensive harassment threat that they once were. The army, as it is, continuing to move forward through this choke. Maybe going to kill a battlecruiser, and there's not enough Corruptors to actually do so. He's going to force it through the choke as well. Maybe capture some of these frontline units, get a fungal on all those ghosts to the top left. EMPs are going down, but I think they've already taken care of any Vipers that were there. There's actually none. The fungals were still available. Going through that choke for either person just seems like suicide.
Yeah, we're just going to line up a nuke in the center here as well, just make sure everything is backing away. Maru wants a few moments to recollect.
26 Brood Lords, almost fully upgraded, by the way. Ooh, lots of ghosts dying as they kind of got caught in a very awkward position there. So now it is only down to 7 ghosts, but 10 Thors Only 6 Hellbats too, actually. We are missing some of that fodder that actually takes care of the Broodlings. Still 21. Baneling's even rolling through as well, cleaning up more of those Hellbats and helping its Thors a little bit as well. When it is only Thors, that is also concerning, right? And those fungals, those neural parasites are still available. One EMP clips kind of the edge of the infestors, but not nearly enough. There's the neural parasites, but the Broodlords are already taking so much damage from the concave of the Thors that I'm not sure who's actually going to be able to win this. The supplies are still eerily close. The Battle Cruisers come in to try and support, but the last couple of Thors, literally a couple of them, are getting surrounded by the Broodlings. As the Battle Cruiser teleports out, the Ghost try and come in for some cheeky snipes. 4 Broodlords, not even 3 Broodlords continuing the attack. But at the end of the day, as the dust settles, they still come out at an even supply. But it is going to provide a lot of fodder. It's going to still have to be kind of pushed through to get to the more important bits of the mech army. And when Raynor is struggling to even take care of said Hellbats, that is also a terrible sign. Raynor doesn't really want to admit defeat right here. Very frustrating way to lose a game, but Maru is a frustrating player to play against.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun switch-up, right? The core idea almost remains the same, but yeah, no Spire, not going to be seeing a lot more Queens, and again, the Nidus to help you maybe maneuver around a little bit more with these units, because the Queens obviously aren't super quick. And the Nidus can maybe help you just get creep in some places that would have taken a long time to get to otherwise, because if the Queens pop out of Nidus, they can drop a couple creep tumors, then they back away, and at least you can start progressing that. It's something that Maru has to keep on top of, otherwise Raynor just gets more control to make use of.
Exactly. I might just love this. Let's see how it works out. The first Locust Wave is a biggin, and it goes right for that tank on the back line. The Hellbats, not yet on Blue Flame, also weren't quite protecting some of those backline tanks, but they were certainly protecting enough of them for properly protected.
However, the BCs are going to find themselves a Swarm Host, and he denies the Nidus. So the Swarm Host counter is going to take a heavy hit with Yamato. Those two, we turn around for the others, and Raynor loses a significant portion of his Swarm Host supply there. It gets to a point where we question, were they doing enough? But I feel like they just did something useful for the first time in a while.
You're going to go down more drones as well, and he still needs this one big fight to go well for him. Do his infestors have those fungals quite yet? No, they do not. And never got access to no parasite, by the way. So a lot of problems right now as Raynor goes for his last defense. The fungal does come down, at least one of those infestors. And the ghosts were captured for a hot second, but now retreating backwards. Are there any more? Are they going to get EMP'd? They're going to get sniped, actually, as Maru barrels down here. He's looking for the victory for this best of 5. Raynor, our last chance for the non-Korean to continue on in this tournament, is trying to hold the line, and he needs this base as well. He can't just give this up. He'd be really out of luck then. Can he hold with just the Broodlords? They are so darn weak. There's 4 Thors, 9 Ghosts left in play against 13 Broodlords, 7 Infestors that can't quite get what they want. A good fungal to end. The Broodlords are trying to snipe their best. Lings come in at the last second. No more Hellbats. And the Ghosts decide to go ahead and evacuate. Sorry, Thors. I guess you're going to go down. But Maru had the bank. That is the problem. That was a long fight that Raynor, I guess you could say, kind of won on the defensive, but the Ghost survived. The Remax is here for Maru, and Raynor is forced to tap out.